Dear fellows, welcome to our today lecture. In today lecture, we are going to discuss how to detect the problem of multicollinearity. Multicollinearity problem exists when there exists a strong relationship between the independent variable. Okay, there are different methods how to check the problem of multicollinearity. But in our today lecture, we are going to discuss one of these methods, and in my next video I will discuss in detail about multicollinearity, its consequences, and what are the different methods that how we resolve the problem of multicollinearity. But in this video I am going to only check how to detect the problem of multicollinearity. First of all, go to view, and the first step is bring your data into the views file. Go to file, new work file, and here mention your start and end date of the data. As in my previous lecture, I am telling again and again that how you bring your data into the views file, so I am not discussing that thing in detail in this lecture. And now go to Excel, copy your data, and go to quick empty group and paste your data here. Okay, so before checking the problem of multi, first apply OLS on your variable. And how you apply the OLS method? There are two methods there for applying the OLS. The first method is command method. Here you can write the command for applying OLS. The other method is first select your dependent variable, then press Control, and then select your all independent variable one by one. Then right click, open as equation. So here you can see that the first variable is your dependent variable, and the method is already selected, which is OLS method or ordinary least square method. So keep it as it is and press OK. So when you press OK, you will get the result. And here you can see that your dependent variable is GDP, and these are your independent variables R square, and these are the remaining result. Okay, as you can see that our R square is very high, very much high, 0.99, which means that 99% variation in the model is because of these variable. Okay, so when your R square value is very high and you some variable have opposite sign. Okay, for example, let's suppose we say that CPI have positive relationship with GDP, but in result it's showing negative sign. And we can say that, for example, interest rate have negative relationship with GDP, but here its sign is positive. So when this is the case, that in results your some variable are showing opposite sign, in theoretically they have positive relationship, but in result they are showing negative relationship. And some variable who have positive relationship with the dependent variable, they have showing negative relationship with the dependent variable. So it means there exists a problem of multicollinearity in your data. If this is the case, you have to look at the theory, and after looking at the theory you can tell about the relationship between the dependent and independent variable. And there is another method that you can check the existence of multicollinearity without applying any test to the model. Okay, if you have OLS result, then if you can see that your most of the variable are insignificant. For example, if your most of the variable are insignificant, but your R square is still high, then it means there exists a problem of multicollinearity. But in my data, in my result, my mostly variable are significant as their p value is less than 0.05. So when your result shows you that your mostly variable are insignificant and your R square value is high, then it means there exists a problem of multicollinearity in the data. But not in my case. In my case, all variable are mostly variable are significant except from this variable which is IR interest rate. This variable is insignificant. Other than this variable, my all variable are significant. So how can we check uh, the problem of multicollinearity? By applying a test. For this you have to go to quick, then go to group statistic, then go to correlation matrix. Okay, so here is the result of correlation matrix. How you can explain the uh, uh, and how you can tell that there exists a problem of multicollinearity between these variables. In the result you can see that on the horizontal axis there is also written the name of variable, and on the vertical axis there are also the name of the variable. Okay, so how to write the relationship between these variable? So look at this variable only and try to explain or relate this variable with other these three variables. GDP to GDP, it is 100% related. CPI to GDP, then how much relationship exists between IR and GDP, then M1 and GDP, then M2 and GDP, M3 and GDP. So, okay, so this is the way that how you read the result. Okay, let's talk about this another variable. So in this variable you have to tell that how much GDP is related with CPI, how much CPI is related with CPI, how much interest rate is related with CPI, how much M1 is related with CPI, how much M2 is related with CPI, and how much M3 is related with CPI. I hope that now you can understand how to read these results. Okay, now in the result look at those values which are above than 90%. Above than 90% mean that there exists a high multicollinearity between these variables. Okay, uh, forget about the relationship between independent with dependent variable. Okay, it is our ideal condition, ideal situation when our independent variable is highly related with the dependent variable. We have to relate the independent variable with independent variable. Okay, as you can see that M3 is highly related with M1 as its calculated value or their correlation value is greater than 90%, which means that M3 and M1 are highly correlated. Okay, similarly M3 and M2, they both are highly correlated. Okay, so this one M3 and M2, M3 and M2 are also highly correlated. Okay, so and M2 and M3 similarly, M3 and M2 and M2 and N3, it is the same thing. So in the result when you see that the two independent variables their correlation is more than the 90%, it means that there exists a severe problem of multicollinearity between these variables. Okay, I hope that you now can understand that how to check the problem of multicollinearity by applying correlation matrix. This is not the last video for multiculinarity. I have divided this topic into further more videos. In the next videos, uh, I am going to tell you that what are the consequences of multiculinarity, what are the reasons of multiculinarity, and how to remove the multiculinarity. And I will also discuss separate different other methods for checking the problem of multiculinarity. So best of luck for the next video, and I hope you will try to watch this video and try to learn that how you can check the problem of multiculinarity.